Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Nim, and thanks that you're watching. So today we are building something rather special. Today I am actually building a type of Dutch farm. Now the type that I'm building is called een terp. And what it basically means, like the way that I'm... Excuse me dog, could you not? So the way that I'm building the terrain tools, like using the terrain to create like this hill on a hill, it actually has a purpose, because in the Netherlands there obviously is a lot of water. And sometimes the dikes would break, so you would have those hills and you would build your house on it to make sure the water doesn't flood your house. So whenever the dikes break, like your house is high enough so that the water doesn't come in and all your stuff isn't ruined. So that's what we're building today, and I got a lot of inspiration from this house from my grandparents' farm. So my grandparents own a farm like way up north in the Netherlands. And this kind of looks like their farm. Interior, like, it is almost completely their farm. And exterior, like, kind as well. Like, the garden is pretty similar, but I used, obviously, different furniture and, like, different play sets, because I don't have the... You will see me adding a lot of playthings in there as well, but we don't have those anymore there, because, like, my brother and I are all grown up now, so we don't use those playthings anymore, so they removed those. And the roofing, as a matter of fact, is also pretty similar, so I'm quite proud that I was able to build this. And I didn't have any reference pictures for it, like it's all out of my memory, and I was there not that long time ago, so I remember pretty good what it looks like. The only thing is, like, they have an attic, and I didn't want to build an attic in The Sims, because I'm not quite sure how, so if you have any tips, let me know. But I didn't know how, so I was like, you know what, I'm just not gonna build the attic. And we're just gonna have one room in the home that will be all the stuff that they have in the attic. So have fun with that, looking at that. Also, this roof, it was killing me. Like, there were all these little corner pieces and it was so annoying. So I ended up just removing a few walls because the roofing looked so weird. So I think, like, removing a few walls, it actually looks a lot better now. And we are using my lovely columns from Get Together. They are like my favorite columns ever. They are so pretty, especially now that we have like the opportunity to like extend columns. Perfect. I love it. I love it. Also, like the black shingles on the roof, love it. And finally, for once, I had like terrain where the stairs wouldn't turn out that weird, because I don't know why, but whenever I use terrain tools and I try to place stairs on them, they just look really weird, and I don't know why, but they just do. Maybe that's just me, like, let me know in the comments down below. Like, maybe that's me, maybe that's you as well. So obviously we are using brick, because brick is very common in the Netherlands, and actually my grandparents' farm is all brick, but I decided to put some wood in there as well, because I didn't like the look of it with only brick. I was like, you know what, this is not the vibe for sim homes. Like, usually houses in The Sims look kind of weird when you're using only brick, but I think I managed pretty good with half brick, half like paneling. Also, these doors from Cats and Dogs, I love them. They are like my favorite kind of doors. They fit perfectly for a farm-like home. It's absolutely amazing how perfect that entire pack just fits. Also, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but there are actually people standing under my window while I am recording this. And they get to hear every word I'm saying, so hi neighbors, how are you doing? Hope you're doing good. This is completely not uncomfortable. I'm still not that used to doing voiceovers actually, so I'm trying my best. And then having people listening to me doing a voiceover is so weird. It's just so weird to me. So now we are trying to do this floor planning, and obviously I know my grandparents' floor plan, that's not a problem, but giving it like a shape in The Sims, it was so difficult, because especially the downstairs, it looks like the rooms are there, like the way the rooms look, they're there, but I couldn't like have everything there in this room. Also, this hallway is way too big, so we end up like using some like walls to make it smaller, because my grandparents' hallway is not that big. Also, I couldn't get that little piece of like floor away there. It just wouldn't work, as you saw me doing that. I was like, you know what, fine, you can stay there. I don't even care. Just stay. Who even cares, okay? Like, just, nyeh. It did bother me a lot. Like, I don't know how people do that, because sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't, and I don't know why it works sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't work. Like, maybe that's just me. Maybe other people don't have those problems. Who cares? Who knows? Anyways, these doors are like the exact same doors that my grandparents have, so I thought that was like pretty cool. Just pretty cool. Also, I did use different flooring because they have like tile almost everywhere and then a lot of carpet. You see me using the carpet in a moment still. But like for now I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna do carpet because I'm actually not that keen on carpet. I know like a lot of British homes like have a lot of carpet. I also know some homes that have carpet in their bathroom. Like, why? Because when you get out of the shower and you stand on the carpet, it's all wet and it's just yuck. So I don't know why. Like, I have tile in my bathroom and the rest of my home is wood. And I love that. Like, of course we have carpets, but those are more like rugs, like actual carpets. We don't have that. And I don't feel bad for that because I don't like cleaning carpets. They get dirty and yuck and I don't like it. So we're gonna do the landscaping now. So these bushes, I am so happy that I finally found a purpose for them, because I never knew how to like properly use them. But in this build, I kind of succeeded. Also using all these rocks, that was so much fun. I love using rocks. I like it. I don't know why, but I really like it. Also, we're gonna give them like a little bit of a different color in a moment, because I didn't want it all to be the same, because rocks are never 100% the same color. There's also like a little different shade. So obviously we need to do that. Also, I have fallen in love with the romantic garden pack. Oh, the way that the flowers look, it is so amazing. I don't see a lot of people actually using it, but I thought that it looks actually so cool. Like, these plants that they have in the romantic garden pack are plants that are so common in my garden. Like in my garden and the garden of my grandparents, it is so common. So I was like, yes, finally we have these flowers that I actually have in real life. So kudos to the Sims for making those, because they are so pretty and I love using them. Whenever I have the opportunity, I just use them. So, like, my grandparents, like, obviously they have a farm because I'm building it, and like the land that they have is the size of, I think, like 3 soccer fields. So obviously building this on a 64 by 64 lot would give me the opportunity to do a lot more landscaping. But I didn't want to do that because like the lot of landscaping that they have is like like a pond. So they have this pond on their like land, and that takes up a great big deal. And they also have this tiny mini forest on their land. So like I'm not gonna build that because I don't feel like an actual forest looks that good in The Sims. But who knows, maybe you think it does, but I didn't think it did. So I just used this, I think it's a 30 by 40 lot if I look at it, like I think 30 by 40. So I just used that lot and using a lot of landscaping also around, because actually my grandmother, she is like crazy about animals and about plants, and she used to have like this own little like herbal garden, and she would grow like tomatoes and herbs. She also, like, whenever I went there in the summer, we would like make jam from the fruits that were in the garden, and it would be so amazing. I absolutely loved it. Also, like, sometimes it tastes like really yuck because the fruit wasn't good anymore. It was like too fresh, but most of the time it actually tasted pretty good. And I just love like picking fruits. I like that. I like this whole process. So this is my attempt to make like the mini forest. It's very mini. I think that is like the correct word. Mini, small, micro even. And then we're just gonna fill up the space with some more plants and everything. And I wanted to add some of the, because I felt like, you know what, if I'm gonna play with this in The Sims, like, it needs to have something for the kids. So we are actually in a moment, I thought, apparently not, at least I thought I was going to add like the children's playground items, but we're not apparently we're still doing landscaping. Also, this farm is expensive. I think it is 218 simoleons. Now, given the fact that there is so much landscaping, maybe that's not even that bad, but it is a lot of money. Like, I don't think any people that are just playing The Sims would have this kind of money. Of course, if you're cheating, then yes, you would have this kind of money. But just with regular playing, I feel like it's so difficult to get 218,000 simoleons. So that's probably not going to happen. Also, if you are ever in doubt of how to make your house look cheerful, add flower pots, because they make everything look pretty. Like, you can see this, like, did you see just how amazing and how pretty my windows are now just by adding flower pots, because it looks cheerful. So here we're adding the outside area, and this is actually the exact outside area that my grandparents have as well, like with the chairs and the lounge chairs. Also, we're gonna add a lot of garden gnomes. Now, my grandparents don't have a lot of garden gnomes, but I really like to add garden gnomes in like these massive gardens. I just came up with that. Also, like, you know what, if I ever have like a massive, massive, massive garden, I'm going to add garden gnomes, maybe just to freak people out. I mean, how fun would that be? Like, people like trick-or-treating, and then they would walk up your path and it is full of garden gnomes. I think that's hilarious. So you'll see me adding a lot of gnomes there, trying to place it in like surprising ways, maybe one on the rocks, in between the plants. Also using a lot of different gnomes, because we have so many gnomes. Like, so many. It's just, I love gnomes. Also, I thought that the back of the house, as you know what, it is still so many brick, like it needs to have a little bit of green, because my grandparents actually really love the outside, hence the farm. And they love like green, like my grandmother has this entire, like I already mentioned, this entire like garden full of herb that she grows. So in a minute we are actually gonna plant that as well. And you here was looking for the small like bonfire, and we found it. So we're adding 6 like chairs there. So you could just use that like the mailbox here, and like a covered patio area, which I thought was so cute and so realistic. I don't know why, but I feel like if you have a massive farm, you would have that. Also, oh, I just remembered this, like at my grandparents' farm, there's like, in their tiny woods, there is this like shed, and I was convinced, I still am, I'm convinced like that shed is haunted. It is so freaking creepy, because it's like in the middle of the woods, and it's just green painted wood, and it is so scary. Like, whenever I would walk past as a kid, I was like, oh, this is scary, I'm too afraid to walk in. And then my brother actually scared me one time, so I'm generally afraid to walk in there, because the vibe that it's giving, it is such a yuck. Ugh, giving me the creeps even by thinking of this. Also, I'm pretty convinced that like there's like a hornet's nest living in there, and I do not like bees or insects or anything, because they kind of freak me out. So we are gonna build the kitchen now. So my grandparents have this like pretty like old style kitchen that you would see in a lot of old farms. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be true to my farming skills. It needs to be an old farm. So you will see that in like furniture choice as well. I will try to make it as old as I can. Maybe you wouldn't recognize it all, but I totally would. Also, they really have mirrors like as a backsplash, and I absolutely love that, because it makes your kitchen look like that much bigger. So that is just perfect. Also, like me cluttering up my kitchen again, because I love clutter. Actually, my grandparents aren't that cluttered in the kitchen. They are in the attic. The attic has a lot of stuff on there, but like the kitchen is pretty neat. But I always feel like kitchens in The Sims, they need a lot of clutter. Especially since you can't actually put things away in like storage cabinets. So everything that you need is just on the counters. So here as well, we are placing some clutter, like not a ridiculously amount, but just some. At least I don't think it's a ridiculous amount of clutter. You might disagree, who knows? So like this kitchen is actually really small, like my grandparents' kitchen is way bigger, so in a minute we are actually going to extend the kitchen like around the corner. But first we are going to add some decorations on the walls as well. And I always love adding like those spoons and knives together. I just really enjoy that. I feel like it's matches. I don't know why, but I just feel like that. So, and I was like deciding like, whoa, I actually have this giant space what the frick I'm actually gonna do with it. So I decided to make like a little bit of a nook there, because that's there in my grandparents' home as well. And I didn't know what to do with it, so we are first just gonna go over to the dining area, and I was like, well, they have this really massive table that you can actually like expand, so it is for 4 persons regularly, and then when you have family, you just like the table can open and you get another pieces of table out of there. I was also looking at this typical rock. So actually, fun fact about like old people in the Netherlands. Usually, like on the table, they have like this rock that you would normally put on the floor, but it's on the table, and that is actually very old, because like people in the 1920s, they thought it was a shame that the rock would get like dirty and it would be old, so they put it on table so people could see it, but you can't walk on it. And some people even have like this protective cover over it so that you also don't spill any food on it. So I thought of that, and I was like, you know what, my grandparents actually have like a rock on their table as well, but you can't do that in a sim, so we're just gonna put it under there. Also, they have like this organ in this little like tiny corner filled with bookcases, and in those bookcases are actually pictures of the entire family. But of course you can't do that in a sim, so it's just bookcases, little reading nook. It's almost creepy how accurate this house looks like my grandparents' home. I don't know why, but I actually find it really, really, really kind of creepy. But again, that might just be me. Obviously, they don't have a painting like that. They have a different kind of painting. Need to articulate well, darn it. So we're just gonna do the bathroom now. We're just gonna keep it regularly simple. Just tub, sink, toilet, some simple decorations, and that's about it. Now on the other side of the home, in a minute, I think we are going to do a laundry room. That's going to be the laundry room. And actually in the home of my grandparents, like the laundry room also has the stairs in them to go to the upstairs, but the laundry room also isn't like that big. And obviously stairs in the Sims are a bit different than stairs in real life. So the stairs are just next to the front door. But that doesn't matter. You know, guys, doesn't matter. Also, that picture was like, you know what, that's gonna be like a picture of my grandma. I just felt like that. I was like, you know what, this is that picture. Also, this like old, don't want to sound mean, but this like old grandma wallpaper. Absolutely perfect. Just perfect. It gives the house that vibe that it needs. So like my grandparents are actually like quite modern. They have like this giant TV and they have like a lot of computers, and my grandfather is actually really good with computers. Like he also fixes computers of other people. So I was like, you know what, we need to incorporate that in the build somehow as well. So we have like a pretty modern TV. In a moment we're also going to put some like modern computers in there. Also, like you might be thinking, what the heck is she doing now with these plants? Well, like I said, my grandparents really love plants. So my grandmother has like this corner in the house which is full of plants. So I thought like, you know what, I have this empty space, I didn't know what to put there. We are gonna make this a plant corner. So just a corner filled with plants and a chair, so you can just sit there and talk to the plants, like look at plants to make them grow even faster. And then of course with the fireplace, another seating area, the amazing university rock, like I can't stress enough. I love that rock. It is square, it is perfect, and I love it. Also adding more bookcases, which is very accurate as well because they have a lot of books. I feel like my nature of my like fondness of reading everything, just obviously I have that from my parents as well, but my grandparents also like have a lot of books. So also adding more bookcases there. And then I actually thought of, you know what, actually we're gonna need to add another toilet because they have that, like they have 2 toilets or 2 like half bath things, you know what I mean. So that was actually like a perfect opportunity to put it in there. And then the room that we have left downstairs, that will be an office, and the middle we are just gonna keep it empty. So maybe in your build you want to add some toddler stuff or some kid stuff or whatever, you can do that. I don't know why the image is freezing. I honestly don't know. Anyway, we are in the moment we are going to build that office. And fun fact about the office, I tried to keep it as like realistic as I could with the way the desk stands. But the office my grandparents' house is actually a lot bigger, so I needed to improvise. As I mentioned, my grandfather also used to fix old computers, so I'm gonna put a lot of paperwork there and like boxes and like that really old computer to fix. I used to always play like old games on those old computers. It was amazing. Also, I just like cluttering things up, especially feel like in old homes, there's also like a lot of paperwork and everything. And I felt like, you know what, this is pretty darn accurate, even if I say so myself. Also adding, of course, the bookcases right there. I'm actually not sure if your Sims can still use that desk, because I actually forgot to play test it, but who cares. So at this point, we are also adding the rugs, or like the carpets, because they have that in the office and in the bedrooms upstairs. So you will see me like changing all the floors to the carpets instead of the hardwood floor that we had. And we are now gonna do like the bedrooms. Now these bedrooms, they are not as accurate as I'd wish, because I had a lot more space. And I was like, you know what, we are just gonna fill this up, and some furniture that they have, you don't have those in The Sims. So the bedrooms was just winging it and seeing how it went. Also, of course, that little ensuite, which I thought was pretty cool, like the open ensuite, because I didn't want it to be closed. Was like, you know what, we're gonna do something different. We are actually gonna have like an open half bath thing. Now this bedroom has an ensuite in it. I think that is the only bedroom apart from the other one. So these two have an ensuite, and the other ones share the hall bathroom, which I will be like making in a moment. So I try to like keep it fun and simple as well, because like I don't know, but I didn't want like this farm to have like a completely modern and fancy vibe. I wanted it to be like functional and how you would actually find a farm in the Netherlands. I don't know if that makes any sense for you guys, but like we'll see. So adding some more decorations, because I thought the walls were a bit bland, and now we are just gonna fill up the space because that hallway was way too big. So I'm trying again to get rid of some of the flooring and add some walls, but it just didn't work, and I don't know why, but it does not work. Again, if you have tips, let me know, because I honestly don't know how to do it. I don't know, so we'll see. Maybe you have some tips, because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and I don't know what actually makes that difference. So maybe I should try to go back in the game and actually fiddle around with that some more, because I'm not actually quite sure why it keeps doing that. I'm also not sure why I just didn't cut this out. Usually I'm pretty good with cutting out those weights, but I'm guessing that I just didn't pay that much attention while editing this. Oh well. So this bedroom was roughly based on the bedroom that me and my brother always had when we went to stay there, like except for the desk with the computer obviously, but like the beds are pretty similar, although we had bunk beds. So Sims 4 team, if you're listening, I need bunk beds in my game, like a lot of other Sims as well, because the bunk beds are actually pretty common. Also, loft beds, so you can actually put something under there, because I don't want to use CC in my builds. So Sims team, if you could make that happen, that'd be pretty cool actually. Thank you. So right here I was trying to build like my grandparents' bedroom, also with like the TV and the computer there, walk-in closet, some more bookcases. And in here I was like, oh, I could do another bedroom, but then I was, wait. I could make like the attic room, because on the attic my parents have like this entire game room. So they have like a snooker table, they have a dartboard, they have so many old computers and like old stuff, which you can look back and you're like, wait, what even is this? So we're coming to the screenshots now. And if you guys haven't already, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and hit that bell icon. And I will let you look at the screenshots now. Bye, guys!